Week 7, biking barefoot across South America. Day 43, biking
Week
barefoot
8,
across South America. First day in Pichari, and this is what things looked like this morning when I woke up. A few hours later, the rain stopped and things cleared up. I received a bunch of comments saying there were some good places to visit in and around Pichari. Today I'm going to visit one of them. Started off the day with this 25-cent egg and hot dog breakfast sandwich from a street vendor. Then it was about an hour ride in one of these moto taxis to take me where I was headed. Now that I'm inside the park, there's a lot of walking to do, but there should be some good sights to see. After just a short walk, I arrived at waterfall number 1, Angela. It's 425 feet tall. There are 5 main waterfalls to see inside this reserve. It takes several hours of hiking to reach the 5th waterfall. My legs should be in good form though. I met a pair of hikers on the trail that were also making their way up the mountain. First of the many interesting creatures I saw today. A toxic snail that doesn't have many natural predators here. Waterfall number 2. It's called Angel Falls, and it was thin and elegant at over 400 feet high. This area is known for snakes, so I had to watch where I was walking. There are also tarantulas creeping around here too. I hiked up so high I was now in the clouds. The trail and my surroundings were engulfed in fog. With the fog and exotic sounds all around me, the jungle felt primeval. I got lucky and there was a little hole in the vegetation, so I was able to sneak a peek at waterfall number 3. Look at this little ant creature. He didn't walk like a normal ant. I've never seen a bug quite like this. Any insect experts out there that know what this is? The locals use this giant reishi mushroom as a medicinal plant. It's made into a tea to aid the immune system and reduce stress. Even when I take days off from riding, I like to stay active and explore the area I'm riding through. Waterfall number 3 is called Gallito de las Rocas. It's Peru's national bird. In English, the bird is called the Andean cock of the rock. At just 115 feet, this was the shortest of the 5 main waterfalls here. The rains this morning beefed up the power of the waterfalls. The puddles were filled with thousands of little tadpoles. There's a legion of these little guys waiting to croak their first ribbit. Interesting little cone-shaped flower I've never seen before. The jungle's bursting with life. There were plants, animals, insects, and mushrooms I had never seen before around every single turn. The hikers showed me a local delicacy, linley mushrooms as they're called here, or jelly ear mushrooms in English. They're a prized commodity here in the Amazon. They can be eaten raw or cooked. I didn't realize I had ventured this far into the jungle, but when I took out the drone, I didn't see anything besides trees and a lone waterfall. I felt completely off the grid out here. Bridesvale Falls is waterfall number 4 and is a whopping 490 feet tall. Only one more waterfall to go, but still a bunch more plants and animals to see along the way, like this centipede. I know there are some types of deadly centipedes that live in the jungle. I don't know if this is one of them, but at least he didn't bite me. This bullet ant was nicer than the last one I found. Good thing he didn't feel like stinging me today. These cutter ants are a lot less aggressive and way less painful than the bullet ant I just showed you. The final waterfall of the hike, the king of the VRAEM. At 590 feet tall, this is the crown jewel of the hike. After about 4 hours of hiking, I reached the top and got to witness this incredible sight. When I zoomed out, this place doesn't even look real. It looks like it's straight out of a fantasy movie. The Amazon is one of a kind. Day 44, biking barefoot across South America. Today I went up to the Liberty Lookout, which gives a great view of the city of Pichari and the surrounding mountains. Pichari is considered the high Amazon jungle. It's not nearly as hot and humid as the lower parts, and plants like coffee, cacao, and coca grow really well here. The river seen here that flows alongside Pichari is the Apurimac River. It's the most distant source of the Amazon River and thus the source of the largest river in the world. After checking out the lookout, it was time to ride back down to Pichari. The entire ride back into town is downhill. I was surprised to be riding alongside pine trees. That's not what I think of when I think of the jungle, but here they were. The downhill ride back to Pichari was so peaceful with virtually no traffic. I came to a downed bamboo stalk that blocked the road. This coca farmer came out of the woodwork with his machete and cleared a path for me. Thanks for the help. Most of the roads in the VRAEM are dirt roads with a lot of potholes, but honestly, those are my favorite roads to ride my bike on. There are usually a lot less cars on these roads, and the cars that are there are forced to drive slowly because of the poor road conditions. I rode past a few coca farms today. This is the plant that the VRAEM is known for and has given the region such a bad reputation. Growing coca in Peru is completely legal. Legally, it's used for chewing and also in teas. It's a mild stimulant. A cup of coca tea has a similar effect to a cup of coffee. This is my first time seeing the plant up close. I hope the coca farmer doesn't mind that I'm checking them out. These plants have recently had their leaves harvested. That's why they look sick and bare, but they'll grow back just fine. This path offered some shade, which is usually hard to come by while I'm riding. riding. It was an added bonus for the ride. This flower is infamous down here. It's a toxic flower called the angel's trumpet. If consumed, it causes hallucinations, delirium, seizures, and even death. It's sometimes used to intentionally poison someone and then rob them while they're disabled. Part of the reason I love the Amazon so much is because of the sheer number of plants and animals that call it home. I'm a very curious person, and I enjoy finding plants and animals that I've never seen before. And out here, there's no shortage of wildlife to discover, like this crazy looking caterpillar I found. He's got to be the coolest caterpillar I've ever seen. The long dangly tentacles look intimidating, but he's not going to hurt me. I'm just helping him out of the road. This part of the downhill was super fast. I love flying downhill as fast as possible. It really gets the adrenaline going. But being on a dirt road with potholes makes it even more fun. Also, using only one brake while recording ups the difficulty. Back in town, this is a common sight in Pichari. Long stretches of coca leaves drying in the streets. The leaves have to be dried before they can be stored and sold. The smell of coca leaves drying is unmistakable. Well, I survived another day in the VRAEM. Maybe it's not as dangerous as it was made out to be. Days 45 to 52 biking barefoot across South America. I spent the week getting to know the VRAEM and enjoying the jungle. No trip to the jungle would be complete without getting to see some monkeys. I was trying to feed this pet monkey, but I'm guessing that's a sign that he doesn't like it. Pretty sure he likes this little girl more than he likes the food I was trying to give him. I love trying new foods, especially exotic fruits and vegetables, and the Amazon is a paradise for that. Walking through a small market in the jungle, you can find hundreds of fruits and vegetables that you'd not be able to find anywhere in the US, and I like to try them all. These are called rose apples, though they aren't actually apples. They're amazing. A nice balance of sweet and sour. These are the same type of jelly ear mushrooms that I found on the hike the other day. Their flavor's so bold. It's a very strong and meaty flavor, and they're mouth-watering in soup. I've been craving them ever since I tried them. This crazy long fruit is called an ice cream bean. It's filled with this white creamy pulp that's super sweet. I love this fruit. It also makes a really good katana. Never mess with somebody holding a pair of ice cream beans. This ball is a classic Peruvian dish from the jungle called tacacho. It's smashed plantains with pieces of pork jerky mixed inside. It's delicious and extremely filling. It's very calorie dense. I tried so many different new foods this week. I could spend hours talking about all these weird and crazy foods I tried, but I'll have to save that for a longer video. And still so many more foods to try here. Just know that the Amazon jungle will take your taste buds for a wild and exotic ride. I visited this other market in Pichari also. I find these markets so exciting, full of all kinds of sights and smells. You never know what you might find. I found a food that I've never tried before, an animal called paca. It's found from Mexico all the way down to Argentina. It's a common game animal in the Amazon. The meat has a unique flavor. It's so good. I wanted more. If you're ever in the jungle, you should definitely give it a try. Any idea what these are? I'm sure you've eaten them before, probably a bunch of times. These are cacao beans. The region produces some of the best cacao and chocolate I've ever tasted in my life. They dry the cocoa beans out in the streets before they eventually grind them down and turn them into chocolate. I visited a trout farm that takes the fish directly from the pond to your plate. Doesn't get much fresher than this. Trout are more widely available higher up in the Andes Mountains. This was actually the first time I've seen them farmed in the jungle. I spent one of my afternoons chewing coca leaves with a congressman and his team. He invited me to lunch to interview me about my travels and to hear what I thought about tourism in the region. Trout was on the menu. Pichari was my first stop in the VRAEM, and it made a great impression. I loved every day I spent there. This little stretch of jungle between Pichari and Quillabamba will be the only jungle I ride through on my entire trip, so I want to make the most of it. But now it's time to continue the ride and see the rest of the region on my way to Cusco.